Welcome to the New Ulm Forum. I'm Linda Beck, representing the New Ulm League of Women Voters, and our topic today is the New Ulm Municipal Band. And I have two guests today representing the New Ulm Municipal Band, Don Urich, who is the director, and Jolene Cook, who is the business manager with the band. And welcome, Don and Jolene.
Thank you.
And we'll start with you, Don. Could you just tell us a little bit about yourself? What led you to become the director of the band?
Well, I came to the New Ulm area in 1978 as I received a position at Sleepy St. Mary's as instrumental music director. I held that position until 1997. And then from then on, I moved on to Cathedral High School here in New Ulm, and I retired from active teaching in 2013. I joined the Municipal Band in 1979 as a trumpet player, and became director in 1999.
Okay.
So that's a position I've held ever since.
Been the director for a while then?
Yes, I have.
Okay. And Jolene, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself as well?
I've been in New Ulm since 1984, I think.
Okay.
My husband was with the Gustafson firm, and that brought us to town. I didn't start band until about 16 years ago, but I had played always in high school. I sang in a lot of groups, and then I really missed the band. I missed
sure.
that, and so I knew several people that played, and I got connected. And so I've been in Municipal Band 16 years, and I've been the band manager for, I think this maybe the 7th year that I'll be the band manager.
Okay. And, you know, when I set this up, I thought about Don right away, but then I didn't even think about that there would be somebody more on the business side of running things with the band. So do you want to tell us what some of your duties are?
It's pretty easy duty. Mainly I set up an email set a few years ago. So before rehearsals start, I send an email out to everyone that's played, just to say, you know, that we're going to be starting practices. And then as we get into the concert season, I send out reminders, and I send out the band schedule of what we're going to be playing for each concert. Don puts that together. Then I contact the Journal and KNUJ and get to a publicity set. And that's mostly, I keep attendance, and I'm in the flute section, which really rules the band after Don.
Okay.
So my job is pretty easy. I have it all on my computer now, so I just can pull it up.
And you've been doing it for a while.
I've been doing it for a while, and I had good people before me that had things kind of in place. So.
Jolene does so much of the background things that I don't need to do, where I can focus on the music and rehearsals and things like that. She is a great person to do all those other things.
Well, thank you.
Okay.
That you know, behind the scenes.
Yeah, things that the rest of us don't really think about.
Exactly, right.
Yep. And could one of you just tell us a little bit about the history of the band, how long it's been in existence, basically, and maybe some changes throughout the years?
Well, I think the band was formed in 1945 after there was a demand for, after World War II, there was a demand for a place for people to play and share the musical talents. And it was just formed at that time through a city band tax. And there were a couple of other bands. There was a 205th Infantry Band before that, and also Pioneer Band before the war. And then after the war, the band was formed. And it's basically been a city organization ever since that time. And basically it's been in that form ever since.
Okay. And I think you touched on it a little bit. What exactly is the band's connection to the city of New Ulm? I'm assuming, you know, too, there's got to be expenses that the band has, and is that kind of in the city budget somewhere? Is that kind of
the city funds the band to a certain extent. The members are paid a little bit of money for each rehearsal and for each concert, and that way we at least the people get some gas money or something like that. And it's just a little bit of incentive, but the biggest thing is the people want to play their instruments and want to share their musical talents in the city.
This coming season, when we start up in the spring again, will be our 75th band season, and we have one band member who's been in it will be 75 years.
Oh, and
Don Wilford plays
Okay.
clarinet, and he
Okay.
has been in since the beginning, and
since the beginning, wow.
he
Wow.
doesn't miss a rehearsal, he doesn't
No.
miss a concert. We have some other members who have been in for quite a number of years, but
I'm sure that, yeah.
he's the only one from the beginning.
From the
Wow.
beginning.
Well, that's
From the
pretty,
beginning.
yeah, that's pretty amazing. And maybe we can talk about some of the events that the band, kind of your calendar, a typical year, the schedule, some of the things that you perform.
Well, we do 7 German Park concerts in a season, in June and July, and we play at other events around the city. We play at Bavarian Blast. We play in the Bavarian Blast Parade. We play at Oak Hills Living Center for a concert, and then we also do our July 3rd/July 4th concert
Right,
down at
right.
Riverside Park. So usually we do about 11 concerts in a season. Our
Okay.
big finale concert is Herman Fest in September,
Yep,
where it's an awesome crowd, and our big finale number is Tchaikovsky's 1812 Overture with real live cannons.
And that's one I never miss, is Herman Fest. It's, yeah, the fireworks afterwards too, but just the whole evening is a lot of fun. In case there are people who haven't made it down there, it's a lot of fun. And now, how often does the band rehearse, and when do you start rehearsals about?
I can speak to that.
Sure.
We start rehearsal on the last Tuesday of March,
Okay,
and we practice every Tuesday from then until the end of July.
okay,
So all of April, May, June, July, every Tuesday night we practice at Cathedral Band Room. Then our first concert is always at the Memorial Day service. And then we start concerts usually the second week of June. And so then we have practice on Tuesday and concerts on Wednesday.
Okay.
And people are dedicated. They come to practice. It's not like a hit or miss. People, when they're committed to the band, they come. Yeah,
And
it's really...
how long do you practice? Is it always the same? I can't remember if you had said.
Exactly, 7:30 to 9 o'clock. I think in 16 years, maybe 3 times Don's gone past 9 and maybe 9:01.
Okay.
But no,
Okay.
we start at 7:30 and we're done at
So
9
you have
o'clock.
an exact
Yeah,
amount.
that way the members know this is the time period that we have
Yeah.
set aside for band, and
Okay.
we try to stick to that time frame.
And I think I've really enjoyed band because Don's really a good director. And it's just fun to play under somebody that really knows how to run a rehearsal. He picks pieces, and we have new pieces every year. We've got some very talented musicians that can read, sight read things.
Okay.
And we've talked kiddingly, I think, about maybe trying sight reading at a concert sometime. That's gonna,
That
we'll,
would be
we'll
interesting.
kick
I
that
like
around.
That would be very
Yeah,
interesting, yes. That would be
but
very
the
interesting.
concerts, he'll call, when I first started, he would call 3 songs. Pull this and this and this, and everybody scrambled to get their music. And now he just calls 1, and because some of us are getting older, I guess, can't remember 3, so he'll call,
Just one at a time.
but
now.
the rehearsals are, we work, but it's
We do.
really fun. It's a fun thing, and it's we actually have the band owns a number of instruments. For some
Okay.
people who may have been out of playing for a number of years and
They're
don't have an
able to-
instrument,
Okay.
don't let that stop you because
Right.
we do
You
have.
can maybe help the person
We definitely
out.
could,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, good to know. How do you determine the musical selections?
Well, I'm the one that determines what music we do. First of all, I try to keep the music, I try to choose songs that are entertaining for the audience, but at the same time are challenging for the band members, and that make the band members want to keep coming back and do something new. Very rarely do we repeat songs at concerts other than our finale song at each concert. But so we do work up a good number of songs in a season, over 100 actually. So like I said, I'm the one that determines the music. I try to do a couple of traditional marches in a concert. We do about 11 songs, a couple of traditional marches, maybe a march or 2 that the public isn't quite as familiar with, but are still out there. And then I try to pick 1 or 2 either Broadway medleys or
Right.
movie medleys or something like that. And then I have a connection with a publisher in Germany, and that publishes music of Austria and Germany. So we like to feature some songs that are done by bands of European quality, and that style of music is just a little bit different than
Right.
an American style.
Right.
So, like I said, I'm the one that chooses the music, and I try to mix it up at concerts.
Have you ever, I just thought of this, have you ever pulled out some music and the band it just never kind of came together, or does everybody?
Once in a while,
once
yes.
in a while it does
Once in a while that
happen,
happens.
yeah.
It does happen where I try to listen to the songs before I actually purchase them, and sometimes it sounds good and to look at it on paper, it seems good, but you give it out to the group and it just doesn't fall into place.
Quite
it just
gel the way it
right,
should.
doesn't quite
Okay.
click with the group. So
Okay.
it's kind of a hit or miss sometimes.
There-
But the majority of them are
Yeah.
okay. We have a good group that can sight read through a song pretty well,
Okay.
and they're a good reading bunch. So you can tell pretty quickly whether a song is going to work or not.
Or not?
There are a
Okay.
couple pieces that I was really glad to see go into the archives.
Some of them that we've been doing for a number of years, I try to rotate around, and we take them out of the folder, and maybe a number of years down the road, then we bring them back. But I try to rotate some out that we have done for a while.
Okay, okay. And roughly the number of members you have in the band, and kind of from what to what age? I know that you have quite an age range. of
This year we
people.
had 55 members in band, 7th grade, 6th grade.
Fifth grade, I think. was
Fifth grade,
fifth
one
grade.
fifth grader.
Oh, wow.
We have at least, as we said, Don's been in it for 70, he'll be 75th year.
Right.
So we have 2 or 3 gentlemen in their 90s.
Okay.
So part of the municipal band that is really important, I think, is that age difference. You've got beginning students who can sit next to someone who's played for many years, and
To kind of
really
help
they
them out a
mentor.
little bit.
I
Right.
heard,
Right.
because there was one of the younger ones behind me this season, and it was really fun to listen to the player next to him help him with music.
Right.
And then the cutest, I think, is the little 5th, 6th grade trumpet player. He has to stand up to see into the folder to pull his music out. So he stands up between songs because he's not tall enough to reach in. And,
Oh, yeah.
so I think but we have players that have been in, well, let's see, 43 years, 33, 35, 36. We put it on our
You
last
have really
program.
a wide range of.
Yeah, so it's,
people. Okay.
and that says a lot about the quality of the music.
Right.
And the director, for people to stay for that many years
yeah,
and come back
yeah.
every year, I
Right.
think really speaks a lot to
Yeah, it does.
Don's abilities.
Right, right.
And we take anybody that really wants to play. There's really no auditions, but we're willing to take the person if they're willing to make the commitment for
Right.
time to rehearsals and concerts.
Yeah.
So usually around February, I'll put a couple musician wanted ads in the
Okay.
journal.
Yeah, and that's where, the recruitment of bands. So
Yeah.
that's kind of how you start out, and are there certain areas that are difficult to fill at times, or does
Well,
it kind of vary?
It varies from year to year, but I don't think we have a recruitment problem. We have 55 members, and the last number of years have been very balanced. We could always use some more French horns.
Okay.
Those players seem to be in short supply, but I think the other sections are well filled and well talented.
Okay.
So I think we have a good core group, and every year we bring in 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 new members, and some people will either move away or just
Right,
choose
it
not to
kinda-
play. But
yeah,
it
but it
seems to
stays
balance
pretty-
out every
right,
year, and
that's usually how
our
it-
attendances
right.
or our membership has held steady for
Well,
a
that's-
long time.
That's good, good. And I don't know if there's anything else you guys wanted to bring up. Otherwise, how do people get in touch with you? A website? Do you have some contact information? And I know, like you had said, you start putting some
Yeah,
ads out for people in February.
usually February.
Okay.
Shortly before we get started, I'll put a couple ads in the paper, just little articles. But we do have a website. I don't,
It's called the New Ulm Municipal Band Google site.
Okay.
And we also have a Facebook page, so people can like us on Facebook too.
And we
follow some.
We try to keep it updated, not always, but
Yeah.
it's,
usually
Right,
put the
right.
schedule for the season will be on the Facebook page. And
Oh, okay.
we've had clips of songs and photographs, and so it's kind of fun to follow it.
yeah, it is.
Okay, okay. Great. Well, I want to thank Don and Jolene for being our guests today, and thanks to New Cat, and we'll see you next time on the New Ulm Forum. Thank you.